What is up, guys? Chase Oliver 68 here, bringing you my SummerSlam 2012. If you guys didn't catch the live stream that I did earlier, I did a live stream via Google Plus Hangouts, and one of the new things I'm going to be picking up doing is for future live streams, I'm going to be doing the live reactions through my pay-per-view, like where I stream the pay-per-view, you guys see me and we react, and I'll read your comments. Maybe some of you guys can get into the Hangout if you guys understand not to blast your microphones and have headphones in. So hopefully that could be the case in the near future. But let's get started with SummerSlam. So SummerSlam started off with Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler, and to me that was kind of surprising because the amount of time they gave this feud, you would think, mid-card, middle of the match, but it wasn't. It was the opener. So I guess they thought, if we need a match to open up the show, this could be the good match and would get the crowd fired up. Did it do its job well? I thought it did an okay job. I thought Jericho and Dolph, they went a little bit too fast in this match. It was a lot faster than what I was expecting. I thought the match itself was a solid match, though, telling the story of Jericho's ribs. But sometimes I just felt like some spots were just too iffy. Sometimes like they went by it too quick. I don't know if that was just me, but I just felt like this match went by a little bit faster than I was liking to. They didn't really have that moment of build-up, and it felt like the ending came like quick, like that. It just didn't feel right. Jericho wins by submission, and like I said, I wanted Jericho to win, but by submission, that's something that's like weird. I understand the Walls of Jericho is known for his big-time finisher, but by submission, that's kind of like taking it too far. I would take pinfall because of a mistake by Dolph than a submission by a mistake by Dolph. You know what I'm saying? But overall, okay match to kick off the show. Next up, another match I was really expecting to be in the middle of the card, but ended up being in the beginning. Daniel Bryan versus Kane. And I was kind of surprised, and thank God there was no Charlie Sheen. It's not like I hate Charlie Sheen or anything. I think Charlie Sheen could have added something to it, but thank God that Charlie Sheen didn't mess with Daniel Bryan. And this match, I'm sorry, it was bad. I thought this match was bad. Like, this had to be one of, I think Bryan could maybe have been sick or something, or something of that matter, because he looked bad in this match, in my opinion. He didn't look like Daniel Bryan, and Kane was doing a lot of the work. It just felt like a TV match. It didn't feel like this belonged on the pay-per-view, and Daniel Bryan wins, and this is where the logic does not kick in for me, which I really did not like. When Kane chokeslams Daniel Bryan, why don't you go for the pin first before you say tombstone? I get it, you're mad at Daniel Bryan, but wouldn't you go for, the pin at least? No, he just decides, oh, I'm going for the tombstone. Kind of makes no sense to me why he would want to do that instead of try to get a pin. But whatever, Daniel Bryan wins because of a cheesy roll-up pin, and then afterwards Kane searching for him backstage. It was just like, whatever. Oh, another thing I want to gripe about before I talk about the next match is the amount of shit we got in the middle of the show. Oh my goodness. The span access, these promos. Oh my goodness. It was like just way too much. National Guard, all that other stuff. Like, it was just way, way, way too much. And so, yeah, let's just move on. The IC title match between Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. I thought this was a pretty good matchup for the IC title. Nothing too special. But The Miz, he looked good. He was reversing some of the moves. And I was like, damn, dude, The Miz is looking fucking fresh in this match. I mean, he's just like Ray, he was doing that spinning around thing. Miz reversed it and hit that nice little reverse move that he did. It was really cool. Miz really looked good. He looked like a star tonight. I really liked how The Miz looked. Rey Mysterio looked good. But the ending, it just kind of was like whatever to me. The ending just didn't do it for me. But I just thought, that it was an okay IC title match. Definitely better than some of Mysterio's work that he has been doing since he came back. And this was a good match for The Miz. Just once again, what was the point of this match? And also, why didn't Wade Barrett come out to attack Rey Mysterio or something to solidify Wade Barrett-Rey Mysterio feud? I don't know. That would make too much sense. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about the pre-show. Congrats to Antonio Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli. Internet fans, I bet you're happy. U.S. champion is now one of your favorites. And not to mention, it's no longer Santino Marella. Now, let's just hope he gets booked properly, because that's one thing I want to see, is I want Claudio to become a star, not become just another guy holding the belt. Moving on. World Heavyweight Championship match. Money in the Bank matchup between these two was a lot better, I would say that. This match was just kind of dull. It just felt dull. I mean, they did an exposed turnbuckle theme, but even with that, it just felt kind of dull. And some of the logic in it where Sheamus would put Del Rio into the turnbuckle, but Del Rio wouldn't be hurt. But since Sheamus got hit in the head, he's hurt. And the way they ended it made it seem like Sheamus was more of the heel than the face because, Rodriguez tried to throw the shoe. Sheamus took advantage and grabbed the shoe and hit Del Rio. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The face getting back at the heel for cheating. But then afterwards, Sheamus, he gets the pin 1, 2, 3, and Del Rio, his foot was on the ropes. Sheamus pulls the leg like he's a heel, like saying, nope, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And it's like, what? Are you kidding me? I mean, at Bound for Glory last year, we saw Kurt Angle do that with Robert Roode, where he pulled away Robert Roode's hand so that way it could show that he's that he won. Well, that's what a heel would do. Sheamus did that, and he's a face, so it kind of almost made it seem like, in a way, Sheamus was like the heel in this matchup, and that was weird at the end. It wasn't like a huge thing, but that was just weird, and there was no restart, which makes no sense, and especially in years past at SummerSlam 09. Randy Orton, I remember, Cena had his foot underneath the ropes, or it was Randy Orton who had his foot underneath the ropes. One of those two did, and one of them won, and then all of a sudden they went to video replay, and they saw that, and they said, oh, let's restart the match. So why is that not happening? And does that mean this feud is continuing? Because I'm going to be honest here. I like Sheamus as a worker. I like Del Rio as a worker. They're both good workers. But I don't want to see another feud. I don't. Please end it. Please. End it. And where the fuck was Randy Orton? This could have been an opportune time to turn Randy Orton heel. Let's just say if Sheamus won and Orton beat the shit out of Sheamus after the match. I don't know. I just thought it was dumb. Next up, we got the tag team title match. And really, this match was like written in the stars who was going to win. And all honesty, this tag team match was just dull to me too. I was like, wow, this match, it had potential, but it was okay. This felt like another TV match. And I was like, all right, so what's next? The WWE Championship Triple Threat. And I was thinking to myself, damn, did they waste that much time off the clock? And they did. And I was like, wow, that felt fast, but not in a good way. These last two matches better pick it up. I mean, there's only been two solid matches, and solid on a pay-per-view to me is not that great. I want to see good to great matches. So then we get the Triple Threat. And in my head, I was thinking, okay, this could either be a matchup where Big Show dominates first, and then afterwards Big Show gets out of the equation for a while, and then Cena and Punk have a nice little exchange, and Big Show comes back looking dominant, and then comes down to the point where Cena AAs, and then Punk wins. That sounds like a solid matchup. The whole match was Big Show working his damn ass off. He was the star of this fucking match. He was working his ass off. He was taking all these cool moves, like the double knees to the double Baymaster off the top rope. I was like, wow, Big Show looks like a good worker in this match. Punk and Cena felt like, what are they even in this match for? They were just there to be Big Show's wrecking machine, and Big Show barely took any blows. And so there was this one point in the match where Punk goes for an ogoplata, which is a submission move in MMA, and Cena goes for his STF, and Big Show taps out. And so I was like, okay, so are they going to really end it like this, where they're going to have, the title strip so that way Punk doesn't look bad or Cena doesn't look bad? I'll take it. At least Big Show doesn't look that bad. I mean, it took two submission moves to end it. If they're going to strip the title and they're going to make it where, they have to fight for it again, I guess, at Night of Champions, fine with me. At least none of them look that bad. I mean, it took two submission moves to beat the Big Show. Fine with me. And it would have been a dumb ending, but then AJ comes out. AJ just looks around and Cena and Punk are just bitching at her, and then all of a sudden she's like, restart the match. They just restart the match. Big Show hits a double chokeslam, and I thought, wow, Big Show's actually going to win it. And it makes sense because both these guys were off guard. Smart move. I may not be a fan of the Big Show, but hey, smart move. That makes sense to me. All of a sudden, 1, 2, nope, they both kick out. Big Show tries to go for the knockout punch. Cena AAs. Punk pushes him out. Predictable finish. Punk wins. And Punk wins in a heelish way, and he's going to celebrate with the fans. That makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me. I'm sorry. If he's supposed to be a heel, why is he celebrating with the fans of Los Angeles? Then again, LA fans, they're not really the smartest fans, let's face it. But moving on forward, we get to the main event. Oh, wait, whoa, hold up. Before the main event, and I feel sorry for all those guys that made SummerSlam videos. I've seen some of those, man. People worked their asses off making those SummerSlam videos. Like the Lex Man and True Bo Show, and I think Luke Cage made one too. They worked their asses off. They did a good job. But WWE did not even feature those properly. That pisses me off, man. Like, you feature your touts well, but you're not going to feature those SummerSlam videos well, especially the amount of time and editing that goes into those videos. Instead, we're going to focus on Kevin Rudolph, and instead of, like, focusing on fans, singing along to the theme song, we're just going to go, show them on the Titantron where you could see yourself barely. That makes me mad. That does make me mad a little bit. But let's move on to the perfect storm. Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. Now, this match, I thought it was kind of disappointing. It wasn't bad by any standards, but it was kind of disappointing. And the thing about this match was that I thought they tried to overuse the Kimura way too much. Some of the stuff they did, like when Brock jumped off the table, that was cool. Or like when Triple H was like beating up Brock onto the outside. I thought that was cool. There were some cool moments in this match, but it just felt like okay. And like they were working the arm storyline a lot, which was fine with me. That was cool, but it just didn't feel like sometimes Triple H would do moves where it evolved that arm. How is he doing moves if it evolves that arm? How is he going to be able to lock the pedigree if his arm half the time he's holding it like straight where he can't do it? And I was surprised by the ending. I'll admit, I was surprised by the ending where Brock Lesnar won via Kimura tap out by Triple H. And they were talking about how this is going to be like Triple H's last match or something. Is this the end of Triple H? And I was surprised that Triple H actually put Brock over clean. No Shawn Michaels. Triple H taps out. Brock looks good again. That was fine with me. But the match itself, quality-wise, I just didn't think it was lived up to its hype. I don't think it was that great. They were booking this like, oh, anything goes. This is going to be a fight. This didn't feel like, like, it was a wrestling match, which I was pretty much fine with. There was not a lot of MMA aspects, but Brock Lesnar was trying to lock up the Kimura in such raw ways. To me, it was just like such a. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that good either. It was bad. I would say it was not a great match, but it was a good. Like I said, there's logic involved. Triple H, if he's holding his arm like this all the time, he shouldn't be able to all of a sudden, okay, I got the adrenaline rush trying to do pedigree. One pedigree, I understand, but two? That's a little bit too much, especially since Triple H hit the second pedigree right after Brock Lesnar held his arm in the Kimura for almost like a minute, I would say. Overall, WWE Summerslam 2012. On paper, this card looked awesome. I'm not going to lie. This card looked pretty cool on paper. Even though I wasn't that hyped for it, it looked pretty damn good on paper. And I thought most of the matches will deliver. I'm happy with some of the results of this card, which is good. But other than that, this SummerSlam, it just felt lackluster and boring to me. It didn't feel like a WWE SummerSlam. It just kind of felt like a long Raw. And that's bad when SummerSlam feels like a long Raw. I'm not saying that this show is total garbage, but there's some moments in it where it's just like, what? It just feels like such a bad show. It wasn't that good. I mean, I know I may be in the minority here when I think SummerSlam is bad, but I just thought SummerSlam 2012 was not a good show at all. I felt most of the time I was dozing off a little bit, and I had people over trying to entertain me. So it's like, I don't know. Give me your thoughts down below what you guys thought of SummerSlam 2012. I didn't think it was that great. Maybe you guys thought it was great. If you guys enjoyed it, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy it. I'm giving SummerSlam a solid D+. A D. Yes, a D+. I didn't think this show was that great. This is the worst pay-per-view, in my opinion, this year, and I'm kind of glad I didn't pay for it. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of glad I didn't win. But maybe if I was there live, it would be a lot better. Maybe. But tell me what you guys thought about SummerSlam down below. This is Chase Oliver 68, and I'll see y'all later.